Alright, so as you know, I just recently finished the 3.1 story quest, and I just wanted to make this video to just get my standpoint, just get my overall rating of the story so far in Wuthering Waves before the release of 3.2. And I have some clips of the story to show you later on that aren't by me, by the way. Like, the gameplay footage isn't by me. It's by Streetwise Rhapsody, because I didn't record my own gameplay footage. I know, I was kind of retarded. I should have recorded my own, but I didn't. So yeah, I'm gonna show you some clips of that later on. I'm not gonna do like a full story recap. If you're looking for a full recap, then I don't know, man, you came to the wrong video. So instead, I'm just gonna recap the beginning, the end, and some parts that were memorable to me. So yeah, let's get started. And oh yeah, also the gameplay footage you're seeing right now is my own. It's happening as we speak. So you're gonna join me while I build IMF, which speaking of which, there's something pretty crazy that I want to show you. It's something that surprised me as well. If we go to the gacha system, I'm gonna dude, my IMF pulls went absolutely insane. They went really crazy. So I was gonna show you this because it surprised me as well, believe me. Alright, so if we start over here, you see my previous character was 1A. Right? Pretty simple, because I skipped Mornay. And then we go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, my polling session. Let's just say my polling session went actually kind of insane. 7 polls and I got IMF. That was, like, genuinely, it was insane. I was actually quite surprised too, because that's never happened before in my years of playing Wuthering Waves, because I am a day 1 player, and that's never happened before. I have had lucky polls, like my Jeja polls and stuff, but I've never gotten a 5-star character on my first 10 poll. That was insane. But anyways, yeah, you're gonna join me along as I build her, while I also tell y'all about the story quest. So let's just get started with the review, or like the overall recap of the beginning of the story. So the story starts off pretty simple. Rover heads over to Honami City, where we run into Shorekeeper, who then takes us over to Roy. And there's actually something I need to tell you a bit. Like, before we enter into Roy, you enter into a void, where you see the introduction of IMF, who does play a very important role later on in the story. Yeah, but right now, she's not that important. Well, she is kind of important, but she becomes more important in 3.1, so gonna skip over that part. Once we get into Roy, we get hit by a motorcycle. We get hit with a motorcycle by Lene, who is another new character. And you know, instead of suing Lene, Rover decides to forgive her, and then they become best friends. And then we go over to Star Torch Academy together. And then basically, that's the beginning of the story quest. It's like seriously, that's it. This fucking boss. Why is this damn boss I'm fighting have a fucking pick up and throw you down move like a fucking pro wrestler or something? My gosh. But anyways, yeah, and then the end of the story quest, it cuts over. Oh wait, hang on, no. There's actually one part in the middle of the story that's quite memorable to me. Which, you know, being a day 1 player, it legit gave me chills. I'm just gonna show you that cutscene now.
Breathing seems normal. Heart rate should be fast, I think.
You're awake.
But yeah, and then we cut into the end of the story, you know, and we just fought. And we just fought like a giant worm. The void worm, as they call it. And then basically that's the end of the story quest. Now, oh wait, actually no, there's another part that I think might play a pretty important role later on. Is Lene actually isn't Lene. It was confirmed that she was actually from the New Federation. We don't know her real name, but yeah, she was from the New Federation. She took Lene's identity. The original Lene was part of the Faxidus. But yeah, she was from the New Federation, a part called the Lawless Zone. And then that's it. Those are all the memorable parts of 3.0. At least Act 1 of 3.0. What the fuck? This fucking boss! Dude, why am I doing so bad? Bro, this is not funny. This is not funny. I actually have to, like, fucking focus here. Why do you have to focus during this damn boss fight? Like, I just want to build my character in peace. But anyways, yeah, now let's get into Act 2. Which is pretty memorable. Which actually isn't that memorable. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really find Act 2 of 3.0 that memorable. I actually didn't really like Act 2 that much. Maybe it's just me. The only part that I actually found memorable was the end, when we found out that it was actually Imif who saved Mornier. And then we get into 3.1, which is completely focused on, which is, like, you know, the main focus of 3.1 is Imif. And there are actually some people who had a problem with 3.1 story, which, me personally, I didn't really have a problem with it, but some people did because, you know, the game's called, because, you know, people call the game Gathering Wives, but, like, 3.1 was fully about gathering daughters. So yeah, something that's pretty important is Rover actually played, like, the father figure role. What? Could I leave? Could I leave? Anyways, an important part is Rover actually played as, like, a father figure for Imif, which I didn't mind that much, and the only reason I didn't mind it is because a story quest that, like, genuinely triggers my emotions and, like, actually makes me cry is a story quest that I'm going to enjoy. So, like, let me just tell you one thing is, my rating for 3.1 is instantly going to be a 10 out of 10, just because of how emotionally impactful 3.1 was for me specifically, and maybe even a lot of other people. There are some parts of the story that are extremely memorable, which I'm going to show you two parts of the story, actually. This first part, yeah, it's kind of memorable because Rover said his, because Rover said, the thing, dude. He said his signature line. Let me just show you it right here.
There, for everyone, as we head toward our shared future, leaving the past behind.
Of the many sad moments in this story, it was this one specific part that just really made me tear up. I can't even explain it. So yeah, here it is.
My only wish for you is that you live a happy life.
I see.
And you? What's your wish for me?
I wish that in your long, long life, you never forget how to feel the sorrow and the joy.
Oh, getting to share this final journey with you makes me so happy.
But anyways, yeah, that was really it. Those are the really only memorable parts that I remember. And as I said, I was only gonna recap the memorable parts and maybe the beginning and the end of the story quest. So, yeah. Which also, if you want to watch an explanation for the ending of 3.1, go ahead, because me personally, it was actually kind of hard for me to understand as well, so I can't really explain it in full detail what the ending actually entailed, but yeah, like, just watch a video, ending explained 3.1. But let me just tell you, 3.1 was definitely by far one of the best story quests I have played of Wuthering Waves, and which is why I easily give it a 10 out of 10. And yeah, that's basically it. My rating for 3.0 Act 1 is honestly, I honestly thought that was a great story quest too. The introduction of the motorbike, let me just tell you, the motorbike is one of the best exploration mechanics I have ever seen in this game, dude. Like, I absolutely love driving around on that motorbike. But anyways, yeah, that was my rating on 3.0 Act 1. My rating for Act 2, as I said, it wasn't that memorable to me. Maybe this is a hot take. I did not really enjoy Act 2 that much. But I guess my overall rating for Act 2 is going to be like a 7 out of 10. So it was still good. Wait, did I give my rating for Act 1? Did I say 9 out of 10 for Act 1? I think I did, yeah. Act 1 is a great quest. Act 2 is 7 out of 10. That's just my personal opinion. I didn't really... I personally just wasn't vibing with Act 2. Now, that's not me, like, you know, hating Moynier as a character, because I personally think Moynier is a great character. I still regret skipping her to this day. So yeah, Moynier was a great character. It's just the story wasn't really that memorable. And yeah, anyways, that was my overall take on the story quest. It might be kind of an awkward video back because I kind of lost my commentary skills when I left for 7 months. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's the end. I'll be back either next week or tomorrow for some gameplay, regular gameplay. I'm gonna be either playing Firewatch or Arknight's Enfield, so yeah, stay tuned. And see ya.
My